Change Your Questions, Change Your Life. 10 Powerful Tools for Life and Work by Marilee Adams. Narrated by Suzanne Torin.
Introduction. One summer afternoon, shortly after the first edition of this book was published, I answered my office phone to hear a man's booming voice announce, "You don't know me, but I'm Ben." He laughed, and I laughed along with him, because I knew exactly what he was referring to. Ben is the main character in Change Your Questions, Change Your Life, and this caller identified with him so much that he thought I could also help him and his organization. By now, Ben is almost legendary for many of my readers. Proud of being the answer man, he believes he must always have the answers and must always be right. In the story, a business fable through which readers experience the practical power of question thinking, Ben is floundering in his new leadership position. But that isn't all. He's also having trouble at home. His relationship with Grace, his wife of less than a year, is growing increasingly tense. When we first meet him, Ben is one unhappy guy. Since that first telephone call from a Ben, I've received many similar messages from both men and women. One reader, David, wrote me that, like Ben, he'd been in trouble at work, especially with his team. After reading Change Your Questions, he changed his own questions, and in the process changed his leadership style. He was ultimately so successful that the results were included in an article in Inc. magazine. You'll find the reference for that article in the notes at the end of this book. Change Your Questions has struck a chord with so many readers that it has become a bestseller. The first inkling I had of its impact occurred when the senior manager at a large pharmaceutical company called me with an invitation to a discussion group featuring my book. She had sent copies to the 50 members of her globally dispersed team with just one instruction: come to the book discussion with one example of something you've done differently as a result of reading this book. On the day of the meeting, I was ushered into a conference room with about 30 people seated around a large table. Others joined us by speakerphone. I listened in amazement as person after person described the results they'd achieved. One man told us he was leading his team more successfully. A woman shared that her relationship with a direct report had improved significantly.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?